This year has been forecasted as being one of the best in the last 20 years for northern lights. So today we're here in Iceland and we're gonna head out and try to find them. So there are three things to check before you want to head out. First one is the moon phase. Ideally you want new moon because you don't want any moonlight in your pictures. Second one is how strong are the northern lights. Stronger the better. And the last one are the clouds. Ideally you don't want any cloud coverage because then you can't see the lights. You need some kind of vehicle to find northern lights. Like this boy we got here. So if you're driving in winter, those studded tires might save your ass because it can get very slippery. And this is the Aurora forecast. Here is the scale. We currently have a 4. That's alright. Could be better, could be worse. Alright, so when those three things are checked, then you can just wait for the night and then you head out. Alright, so we just left the city to find a place with less light pollution, but there's still quite a few clouds up ahead, so we're gonna continue driving to try to find a spot with no clouds. Well, I didn't connect my microphone properly when I was outside in Iceland, so I'm gonna explain everything to you again now from my place, but I guess at least you can see me better anyways. I'll give you a quick overview of what you have to bring when you want to take pictures of northern lights. I would definitely recommend bringing really warm clothes because all the places where you can see them tend to be quite cold and you're gonna spend a while outside trying to get a good picture. One thing that's also really important is to have a light, a headlamp ideally, because you need your hands free, and I really recommend taking a red headlamp as well, because red light doesn't reduce your light sensitivity of your eyes. If you use white light, you turn it on, you turn it off again, and you're basically blind again, so red light is better in my opinion. And then for actual camera and picture taking, ideally you want something with a wide angle lens and where you can change the settings manually, and you definitely need some kind of tripod to stabilize your shot, but that's about it. Alright, so yesterday we gave up after a few hours and now we went out again to try again, but we still have a very strong moon and the activity is less strong than last night, so let's see. I'm not very optimistic. Alright, so we just finished eating and then we spotted multiple northern light sightings very close to our place. So we immediately got in the car and started driving, and now we are on our way and hopefully we'll see them. After a bit we actually found some northern lights. They were very faint, but they were there. Let me take the time now to explain to you what to do if you find them. You headed out, you got all your gear, and now you actually want to take pictures. So first you take your lens, you take your camera, tripod, put everything together. Ideally you have something wide angle, this one 16 millimeters for example, but you can use 20, 24, 12 millimeters. Anything like that is good because you want to cover a large area in the sky. Then the next difficult point actually is to find the focus. You're gonna have to focus manually. If you've never done this before, maybe try it during the day because it doesn't help if you're trying to do this in the dark. What I like to do is I take a lot of test pictures and I set a really high ISO, because then I can take a short exposure. With short exposure, I just take multiple pictures. Every time after I took the picture, I zoom in, check, are they in focus, are they not in focus. I always focus a little bit more in the right direction, and this way you can slowly inch yourself towards having that like super sharp peak focus. For aperture, you want the aperture as wide open as possible so you get the most amount of light in there. This one is a 2.8. I know the very wide aperture lenses tend to be pretty expensive. That's why prime lenses are a little bit cheaper and probably a good option for anybody just starting out. But you can, I took pictures of northern lights with an f4 aperture before. You can definitely do it. They just might not be as nice as they would be with a super expensive lens. And one last thing that I really like to do is set a 2-second self-timer, because if you press the shutter release button, you will move your camera with your finger a tiny bit. And if you have a 2-second self-timer, this will not happen. Also, for all the DSLR shooters out there, the mirror in your camera is also shaking your camera a tiny bit when the picture gets taken. So you should have a setting that says mirror lockup, something like that. And if you set that setting, then the mirror will already be in the correct position before. So you have to press the shutter twice. And then this avoids the slight movement of the camera. So I recommend doing that as well. And now you just have to take probably hundreds of pictures. Just keep trying out. And I'm sure you're going to capture something great. So we just came back from the super weak northern lights, and now we just saw something outside the Airbnb, so we'll see how that develops. So unfortunately the last 2 days were not very good, but now we just left the bar, and on the way back we looked up and there they are. So now we're heading back to quickly get a tripod to take pictures. Alright, so we got the tripod and we're starting to take pictures now. The moon is coming up behind the hill, so we have to hurry, because once the moon is up you can't see the northern lights anymore. So let's go. Yeah, we got some nice shots. I think I'm happy we did it. I was almost giving up hope. That's the lesson I think you can take away. The northern lights, they always show up when you least expect it. So yeah, we were super lucky because there's a hill and the hill is in front of the rising moon, so we had some time. Great. Hopefully now you managed to take some nice pictures and took them back home with you. If you would be interested in me doing another video where I explain how to edit pictures of northern lights to get from something that looks like this to something that looks more like this, just leave a comment down below and then I can do another video where I explain all the post-processing. And like this video has shown, there's always so much luck involved. We weren't that lucky this time, but I've taken some other pics before. So if you didn't get lucky, I would just recommend just try again, and the more times you try, the higher the chances that you're actually going to get some nice northern light pictures. And if you haven't done yet, I would be super grateful if you subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and just let me know what you think about it. Alright, I'll see you next time.